Welcome. Good evening, all. Say good evening, all. Wait for the numbers to fly up, and I'll probably say good evening again. But thank you for tuning in. We'll wait for some numbers to start building up. I am on my own at the moment. Rhys David Evans, my partner in crime for the 1927 pod, is not very well. He's tucked up in bed. I think I'm going to be joined by Rob Boyle at some point, but he likes playing Fergie time, so he could join in the next 10 seconds, or he could join about 9:30. So, unfortunately, you're stuck with my ugly mug for the time being, so all is well. So, a couple of people in the chat already. Good evening, Bradley. Evening, John. How we doing? Yeah, he must be getting his drink from the fridge, I think, John, to be fair. But yes, like I said, before we dive straight into it, I'll give Rob a couple of minutes, see if he's going to join, and we'll go from there. So, get your comments in, any questions, thoughts on the game today, thoughts on the performance, the lineup, etc. And I'll try and read as many comments as I can. Diving straight into the comments. Vincent Taylor, good evening, buddy. My partner in crime, tucked up in bed. He's tuning in. Was going to see if I had any competition with Roberto, but thankfully nobody's my end at the moment. Jonathan Davis doing very good. Big 3 points today, 100%, mate. It wasn't pretty first half. It was very similar, I thought, to the Swansea game last week, really. The first half. And, second half, I thought El Ghazi made a difference when he came on. Managed to score them 2 goals. But a bit of a lapse in concentration then for their goal. And, it was backs against the wall and squeaky bum time, as they say. With Derby, that Derby, you'll have to excuse me, I don't dive deep in and research all the Derby players and things, but they're 15, the striker. I thought he was quite impressive, quite strong. Bullied some of our defenders at times. So, I was just glad to hear that final whistle, and you heard the whistle plenty through the game. The referee wasn't shy to blow it. I thought he gave a couple of silly yellow cards at times. But we're used to seeing poor performances from referees, I think, at the Cardiff City Stadium, if I'm completely honest. So onwards and upwards, like these comments are flying in thick and fast already. Thank you very much. Damien's in the chat as well. Good evening, buddy. Hope you're well, mate. I was quite happy with the atmosphere there today as well. I think they announced 19,000. I thought they looked a lot more there than that, to be honest. Obviously, we was never going to get the numbers we got for the South Wales Derby last weekend. But it is what it is. I thought the atmosphere was great, especially after, obviously, we scored them 2 quick goals. The Omar Ritza chant, Omar Ritza's Barmy Army, that's going nice and strong now. So hopefully, as the results continue, and the performances are there, just continue to support him. Does anybody know about his suspension? I know he's been charged. I haven't heard any more about that. Has he got a reply to that charge then, I suppose, before? I'm not too sure. Here he is, man. Better late than never. All right, buddy.
Hello. How's it going? Everyone all right?
Yeah, good, but good. Just chewing the fat, really, but before you joined, saying hello to the people in the comments. So I'll continue to dive through that bit, and then we'll dive straight into it, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course it is, mate.
Jonathan David said, "How's the atmosphere down west, Rhys?" Obviously, I think Swansea lost just about, I think, today. Lewis Watts, good evening. Massive win, he said. CJ, good evening all. Bradley, we needed that win today, 100%, buddy. We did, and we got it. a little bit close for comfort, as I said, but a win's a win.
It's the Cardiff way, mate.
It is. Tim O'Brien, good evening, mate. El Ghazi played like now a new signing today, finally seen his class. Yeah, I thought he changed the game when he came on again. And very similar to Tuesday night, I think it was, when he came on and he made a difference. And the left-hand side, I think, when we lose Callum O'Dowd, and we'll come on to this after when I go through talk about the team selection and things. But
yeah, of course,
he looked like a danger again today, didn't he? I thought.
100%, mate. He looks like the player that we was the intention of signing. I know he's struggled with injuries over the last couple of years, haven't he, in fairness, which has obviously not helped his confidence. And, for an attacker, goals does people the world of good, doesn't it? And hopefully, obviously on the back of his performance against Millwall, and obviously come on again today and got himself a goal as a good finish as well, by the way.
Could have had another one as well, mind.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. So, yeah,
I think not just him. I think Keane Ashford. Yeah, it was probably more difficult to miss than it was to actually score the goal, I think. But we're not going to focus too much on that after we.
No, and I wonder with that one, Ashford, was it that particular one where he skied it, or was another one possibly where he could have potentially have squared it to Salich as well? I think when they got each other's way, didn't they? And obviously Ashford took ownership, which is great. Love to see that confidence from the young man. But I think even then he could have potentially squared it back to him. But we're just picking holes at this stage, aren't we? So
Graham unbeaten in 2025, but terrible first half. Yeah, it wasn't pretty first half, buddy. But I think the old hairdryer treatment half time worked. See a couple of changes in. El Ghazi come on and changed the game up a bit. Gary Evans, good morning, rather, in New Zealand. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Bradley leads away next week, and you're going to the game. That's a nice trek up to Leeds, mate. That'll be an early one.
Nice one, mate. Is that an early kickoff as well, the Leeds game?
I'm not too sure. Not too sure.
No, it's not. It is a 3 o'clock, actually. Yeah, I wonder if it might have been one of those televised, given the rivalry we have with them. I wonder if it would have been one of those televised lunchtime kickoffs, but better for the travelling fans, in fairness, and it's not. So it's not a bad thing, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, the football away days and fans away on Facebook and things. They took a photo of the Jacks up in Norwich. And, I'm not going to slate the numbers or whatever, because I think anybody who goes is fair play to them, because that's a hell of a trek, especially for a 12:30 kickoff. It's bonkers. It's all Sky TV and the EFL is all to do with money, innit?
Of course it is, mate. Money makes the world go around, unfortunately.
Yeah. Jonathan Davis says we actually had a decision go our way for a change. Yates was definitely onside first half. I haven't seen the highlights back yet. I've seen the highlights.
The thing is, he was in an offside position to begin with, Yates. But there was I can't remember who had the initial knockdown for who he might have been in an offside position potentially himself, which then led to obviously Yates scoring. But either way, we got away over on there. And how many times over the last since I've been watching Cardiff, how many times have we seen those go against us? And the goal stands. So you take those little victories, I think, isn't it, mate?
100%, mate. 100%. Paul, evening. I think you obviously put that in before. I was joined by Mr. Roberto. Damien says I was buzzing down there today. Really enjoyed it, even before the goals. Yeah, I thought it was a decent atmosphere. To be fair, it was. I didn't get it till late today, but Jonathan says 19,000 is a decent number. Yeah, we're still in a bad position, but results are improving. And I just think more people are buying in now to Rhys. I I just love it now that they're supporting him and that the chant was going, "Oh, my Rhys's Barmy Army," and I just think he's. I think especially what he's gone through over the last week or so, and people can see that he's still delivering for us and he's still supporting the team and this, that, and the other. And I think, it's a bit more respect is. I know they say respect has got to be earned, and I 100% think he's earning it at the moment.
100%, mate.
Bradley on the back of saying he was going to Leeds. Hopefully we can get a win against Leeds, but we might need lose. But Leeds are a good team. We might lose at Leeds potentially, mate. But I think we're in a good position to go to Leeds, regardless of where we are in the league and where they are. I think obviously we're on a decent run at the moment. The boys should be confident, but like you said, it is a difficult place to go. If somebody offered us a point now, I'd probably bite someone's hand off. Would you agree with that, Rob?
100%, mate. And the thing with Leeds, they're obviously the complete other end of the table, but they can be a mess mind as well. So I wouldn't say that's a foregone conclusion that Leeds are going to go. We're going to go there and turn. Sorry, we're going to go there and Leeds are going to turn us over, because that's definitely not the case.
No.
I'm not going to be.
You look at Sheffield United and Hull last night.
100%, mate.
You would have to have seen the odds on that result last night.
100%, mate. And that's, I suppose that's the beauty of the championship, isn't it? Because anyone could beat anyone on his day. The standard is very high all through the table, and if all it takes is a few players to not show up, and the dead cert result, if you like, that could just fly out the window, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Paul, going back, I'm not sure if I asked the question before you jumped in, Rob, about Rhys. How do you pronounce it? Rhys? We'll go with that then.
Gaffer. Our Lord and Saviour.
He's got a week to accept his charges, apparently. So he's been charged.
Okay.
So he's been charged. So I suppose he's got a week to accept it or appeal it, I suppose. And I don't suppose then, obviously, they'll dish out the whatever until, obviously, that comes out. Dare we say playoff push? Josh, I'm gonna park the bus on that one, but and we'll come back later and talk a little bit.
I did see that fly through, mate. So I'm glad you brought that one back up. Yeah, it's hey, never say never, my friend. But yeah,
never say never at the moment. Jonathan Davis says the Jacks had a very close game. New signing in defence, only the 5-1 loss could have gone either way. Yeah, shame, but isn't it? Bloody shame.
Right, and I don't mean this in any way as a positive for Swansea, for them, but it wasn't a 5-1 game, if that makes sense. Like they were much more in it than the score line suggested. Norwich City are a very good team, to be honest, but I think the scoreline flattered them a little bit because of stupid errors from their own players. There was one, if you haven't seen it yet, if anybody's watching, yourself included, there was a moment, I can't remember if it was in the first half or not, but the centre half passed it back to Vigouroux, and he's taken a touch, and I swear to God, he's gone to kick it, and somehow the ball's ended up going out for a corner. Like he's like completely miskicked it in its entirety, not even hit it hard, and he spun it so much it's gone like back from behind for a corner. It's wild, unbelievable. But yeah,
we'll come on to this one again as well in a bit. With Willock. I've had enough talking about that team down west, but I will put the thing up. Paul says, good win. We struggled to get going. Just no pace first half. Second half, we raised the pace and got at the Derby players, but usual tight 6-pointer. Rhys, I agree, honestly. Ashford was class, but got to look up. But that will come when time he's still young. James, I was impressed at how we adapted going into the second half. We looked a lot more calm and less panicky.
Yeah,
the break come at the right time. I think I was sat in the crowd thinking, let's just get to half time 0-0, reset. Obviously, the gaffer can have his words, and the team and the coaches can say what they want to say, and just needed a reaction from him second half, and the reaction we got. Jonathan Davis, I got to do the highlights next week, I think, as I'll be moving house.
Oh, nice.
Just tune in next week, but we'll tell you exactly what happens. Don't worry about it.
Nice
Yates was on, but Forsyth was offside in the build up to the disallowed goal.
That's the one,
Is he a former Jack? Is he a former Jack, that Yates?
He's on loan from him.
Oh,
and this is going to back up Paul's comment. I know you're going through Paul's comment. Yeah, I think Rob is a Jack. This is how you can watch the Jacks. I was actually watching Norwich, Paul, as it happens.
Doing his research for our last game of the season. Norwich away, last game of the season. Win that, and we're in the playoffs, I reckon.
I just love watching football, mate, to be honest, all sorts if I can. So, yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't need to start getting trolled on being a Swans fan. I get trolled for other stuff as it is, like, so let's not start that.
He goes and watches the Swansea games with ABM. Is it ABM or whatever his name is?
Who?
The one who was on that march last week, that Biggie Morris, is it?
Biggie, what a cretin of society he is. But no, going back, it was that Forsyth he's the one I was thinking of. He was the one who was offside who knocked it back for Yates. So yeah. But yeah, carry on as you were.
Yeah, happy days. Right, before we move on and talk a little bit, now we was obviously talking about the Swansea game last week. I was off work for a couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, and I think I've watched every clip, every video possible to, mankind on the South Wales derby from Sunday, and still love every single one of them. It was a quality day.
Oh, it's mint, mate. Absolutely. And then I'm getting trolled by the car from Paul now, so there we are.
Right, so let's dive into team selection then today, mate. Any shocks or surprises for you when you've seen the team announcement today? Do you want me to remind you of the team announcement?
No, I know who started, etc. I remember who started. I suppose part of me was maybe expecting young Giles to get minutes at left back, but we've seen MG play that position, not for a little while now, but he has done it. I don't think he looked that comfortable to add to that. He had a couple of moments where he did look very good, don't get me wrong, when he beat a few defenders and came close to getting the ball to Robinson, I believe, at the time. But, yeah, I think he did look great at left back. I hope that's not going to be a long-term thing. I don't think... Is Bagan out for a while? Was he?
Well, that was... whether or not Bagan pulled up with illness or something today, I haven't seen anything communicated with that. I was surprised to see NG start in there, if I'm completely honest. And I wouldn't say he done a terrible job there for us, because I thought he's decent. But there was a couple of times, especially first half, where he could have played a left-footed left back could have played the ball up the line, and I think he cleared it 3 times, and 3 times it sliced and went out into touch. And I think other left back maybe would have played somebody in, Willock down the line. But yeah, talking about Willock today, I didn't think that was his strongest game for us in a Cardiff shirt today. Just, I don't know if he's struggling with illness as well, but he just didn't look at the races for me today.
No, he just looked like he couldn't get out of second gear, really. The game bypassed him almost. There's a couple of times he tried to take it on, etc. But I don't know, like whether it's a nerves thing or, like you said, whether he's been under the weather. Because, as we all know, this is obviously an illness going around at the moment. It could be in winter and all. So I think, wasn't it Robertson?
But like you said, even if he was, fair play to him for getting out there. But he showed his class on Tuesday night, scoring that goal just before half time, didn't he? In fairness, but just didn't. And everybody has off days, and
absolutely. And No, just going to say, Ainge, sorry, and it's a welcoming support now that El Ghazi is back, and he looks like he's getting up to speed again. So, takes off that little bit of strain, of course, without Dowd, who's going to miss majority of the rest of the season, I think, isn't he?
I haven't heard too much. I
think I don't think he's expected back until March, April time. I could be wrong. I'm sure that's what I've read somewhere, but you all know what reports like at times.
Rhys David Evans will tell us now.
Yeah, and Graham's spot on there. Robertson, he was struggling when he came off. You could see him coughing. I know that could be a coincidence, but I know you obviously done well to set the passer play. Was it the second goal? I think. Where he broke up the midfield and set Ashford away. I think I could be wrong. I'm sure it was the second goal what he did. But apart from that, I don't think he was at his best. But again, like he wasn't shit. Don't get me wrong. But I just think that he was. You could tell he's a bit under the weather and he struggled a bit, and it can't get you. Like you know what I mean? It will get you. They're only human at the end of the day, aren't they?
I thought Ashford had a decent enough performance again. It would have been nice if he could have rounded it off with that goal, but I think obviously he came off the bench on Tuesday night. A couple of little things here and there. He was good at obviously beating his man Tuesday, but his final ball was a bit poor. But I thought he had a really good game again today, in which, on the back of Tuesday night of only playing for 10, 15 minutes, I thought it was really good that obviously he came on and he had another strong performance today.
100%. Lewis mentioned there, Dowd was meant to be back today, so much what I've read, then I'm way out then. He's not meant to be out for too much longer, so there we are then.
Fingers crossed.
That's positive.
After seeing NG play there again, bearing in mind Leeds next week then, for example, then if we are missing Bega and we are missing O'Dowda next week, do you think he starts NG there again?
I think he does, just for the experience perspective. I wouldn't want that to happen personally. Jesus Christ, hell. I know I joked about it in our chat earlier on today, but I'd even potentially look at putting Reno there ahead of NG and put NG at right back, because that guy is outstanding. He's just been such a revelation since he's gone to right back, and I thought he was superb today. I know we're obviously talking about something different, but he was class, mate, again, and he's just been so good of late. So,
I spoke to Sai just before, after the game on the way back, I think it was, and I was talking about Rinomota, and Callum O'Dowda for me was my player of the year up to this point, but obviously now with his injuries and things, I think Rinomota has probably overtaken him now, if I'm completely honest.
100%.
He's been outstanding for me. I'm not sure if you've seen his interview after the game today, but he done there's a 6 or 7 minute interview on Cardiff City World. Cardiff City World on the Cardiff City. This is Cardiff City World. We're probably bigger than them anyway.
Yeah.
Jokes aside,
we're massive.
So he done a brilliant interview after and talked about, he thought he was potentially going. But his attitude was that he just wants to play football, knuckle down till he get his opportunity, and by Christ have he taken his opportunity.
100%. And that's it. That's a massive example of getting your head down and knuckling down and working hard and reaping the rewards of it. That's the epitome of being a professional person in life. Is what he's done there, and he says there. That's I know it was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek comment, but I wouldn't be adverse to trying him at left back instead. If he's that keen on or hell bent on not putting a young man in at left back, I'd maybe dabble. He's got a week now until the next game. Do you run that in training over the next week and see from there? But I don't know.
I think he's doing it. I'd rather keep him where he is, to be honest, and rather than mix it up too much. And I don't know. Like you said, more than capable of doing a job there for us. Like I said, I didn't think Petty NG had a terrible game there. There was just there was a couple of things there. I think if we had a left footer there, things might have been a little bit different, that's all. But, you know, it is what it is.
What would you do then against Leeds? Would you go?
I think you probably keep NG there, but hopefully Bagan or O'Dowda will be back. I don't think he'd chuck Giles in the deep end there, to be fair. But you don't know. But at the end of the day, I know he's only a youngster, Giles, but if he's good enough to be in the squad for Derby, he should be good enough to be in the squad against Leeds, really.
100%.
El Ghazi, another one who done an interview after the game. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen any of the interviews yet, mate, so I'll have to look at it.
He spoke very well as well. A couple of minutes interview he done. Seems to have got the bit back between his teeth now, and hopefully we'll start to see the best of him as well now.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. I was buzzing when they announced his signing in the summer. There's obviously a player still in there. He's still got the quality about him, like we said a little bit earlier on. It's the confidence, and getting goals and decent finishes like he had today is only going to help. So fingers crossed he can kick on now and get some momentum going. And fingers crossed he'll be key now for the last part of the season.
Well worked goal as well, in fairness, wasn't it?
Very well worked goal.
Kean Ashford had that break down the right-hand side, squared it for Robinson. I kind of half expected Robinson to have a go on his own, really, but he played that quick ball straight through and bang, bottom of the corner, bottom of the net. Happy days. I just wanted to pick this one up. When are the highlights on Cardiff City World? Highlights. I'm guessing Gary's meaning the Cardiff City website or the app, the Cardiff City app. The highlights that may be on it already, Gary. I'm not 100% sure, but there are other apps you can watch the highlights on. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but Sky Sports. there are other apps you can watch football highlights on as well, not just that one. But you can watch. They are up there pretty much half an hour after the game, I think.
You might be wondering if Cardiff City World are going to start doing showing highlights. I don't know.
I don't know if you're allowed to because of copyright.
No, it's a licensing issue. I don't think that's a battle that side wants to fight, which is fair enough. But yeah, it is. You can literally just click on the internet.
GD Party, we need a left back, Damon Searle, to boot up. Right, before we dig deep into anything else or cover anything else and go into the comments and things, you'll notice just above Rob's head in the corner of the screen, there's a QR code. You can use that QR code to become a member of the Patreon channel. Click the link. It'll take you through to the Ace Podcast Nation Patreon, where you can become a member of Ace Podcast Nation and Cardiff City World. Or you can join the Cardiff City World membership through the YouTube channel. There's a link going across the bottom of the show. All the information you need is there, guys. But if any of you can afford, I think it's less than the price of a cup of coffee a month to help support the channel. If we can get some members, we do set ourselves little targets and challenges of trying to get a member, at least one member, during a live show. We haven't had one yet, but obviously I've only started talking about it now. So if anybody out there is not a member, would like to become a member and help support the channel to keep delivering content 7 days a week, all related to Cardiff City, great. There are other things, other benefits you do get for becoming a member. You get early access to tickets to live events. I will talk a little bit more about that in a minute. You also get a live member show during the week. The rumour mill that Sai's doing, I think I haven't watched it myself yet, but he's done a watch along with Paul Abbandonato, I think. So that's out there as well, members only. But going back to the first live event, that's going to be announced, I think, on Wednesday. Sai's got his first show on Wednesday, his new show on Cymru Sport, I believe it is. So, yeah, stay tuned to Cymru Sport on Wednesday and you'll find out the first live event of 2025.
Exciting times, man.
It is. It is. We're, as you say, foundations have been laid, mate, and we're building, and we're building.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Besides, you can pay us.
What was your thoughts on Salic coming on today? Looked dangerous again, I thought, when he came on.
Yeah, 100%. It's he's work in progress. Clearly, I think he still needs to work a bit on his fitness a bit, but you can tell what sort of player he's going to be. I know we've had big strikers recently, but you just get a inkling that it's just a little bit more about him. He's just not that big number 9. He's got a little bit more about him. I'm excited to see what he can do from the start. He's my favorite big man. I'm just excited to what he can do from the start, and I'm wondering when Rhys is going to pull a trigger on him starting. I don't think it'll be next Saturday. I don't think he'll pull a trigger on him next Saturday. I'd be quite surprised.
I think probably he'll continue going as he's doing, playing, coming on for the last 25, 30 minutes, I would imagine.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be continuous now until the end of the season?
I don't know, mate. I would imagine for at least, maybe up until the international break, maybe, and then he'll have another week or two of more fitness.
Yeah, that's a good shout. It's a good shout.
And then perhaps, look at it then. But I thought perhaps they might have taken Robinson off today but obviously they didn't. Robinson played a little bit behind him, didn't he? And I think he's earned his. They need to put a contract down in front of him now and get him to sign that straight away. For me, I don't know what your opinions are and opinions of the people's in the chat, but I would get that contract in front of Callum Robinson ASAP and put whatever he wanted on it within reason.
Yeah, just add that caveat to it. Yeah, 100%, mate. He's clearly going for a nice little purple patch at the moment, which in effect is helping Cardiff's purple patch to run a form. So yes, we know he has dry spells, but when he's on form and that boy can find the back of the net, and it's just what we've been crying out for such a long time. And I 100% agree, mate. Obviously within our range, etc., wage-wise, but I do think we should, get him tied down to at least another, the 2-year contract, maybe, or something like that. Nothing too excessive. Nice little 2-year contract. I think happy days. I think that'd be ideal, mate.
I can confirm GD Parry. That's not going to be announced on Wednesday.
I wonder though, GD Parry, whether he was replying to Rhys's comment. He says, "Yeah, I'll sign it when that comes back." That's what I think he's on about. I could be chatting shit, but that's what I think he's on about. And screw you as well, Rhys, by the way. Should you be in bed having Mammy look after you?
Mammy's not there on the weekend. Mammy goes coaching on the weekend, and she. Sorry, Rhys.
See, thanks, mate. I've never been told I'm a good catch in my life.
I want to talk a little bit about Derby, because obviously the Derby Cardiff relationships always tend to be quite a. I don't know why, but they're one of them clubs where players go from one, predominantly from Cardiff, they go to Derby, don't they? Just Edward Adams, what was your thoughts on him today?
Just laughing at what you just said still. Edward Adams. Do you know what? He hit the deck quite a lot, man, didn't he? He seemed to be in the wars a bit today. I just think the Cardiff players put it on him a bit, didn't they? In fairness, there was a couple of challenges, and I think sometimes you've got to do it. I think the Derby supporters love him. They every time he had the ball or a challenge, they boo! They was shouting out like they honestly worship him up there, I think. And I think that's a bit of a respect for him. It shows a bit of respect to Adams as well, that they know how important he is. And they did leave a couple on him. Like I said, I think sometimes he made a meal of it for a few things he'd done. But I think that just shows the respect to him, in fairness, as weird as it sounds. Putting a few on him, hitting him with a few sly tackles, should we say. Nothing wrong with that. I thought he was okay. He did okay.
Yeah.
Nothing special. He couldn't. I think he's still injured, personally. I still think he's carrying an injury. His knee is not right. I think he went down at one stage amongst other body parts here today. His knee was playing up again. So, but I think that they rushed him back. I think they going for a bit of an injury crisis, from what I gather. But yeah, Mendes Lang didn't do much when he came on, did he? I think
I was surprised really, because obviously we went up to the Derby away game, didn't we? And he was dangerous that game, wasn't he? He was down our left-hand side, from what I remember. He was sharp.
Oh, 100%.
But he didn't look after the player playing today that played up in Derby.
100%. From what I can remember from that game in Derby, he had his tails up and he was at it that day. He looked very, very good. But and when you're watching them and they're like that, and you're thinking, I know he made a mistake. But I was thinking then, did we make the right call by releasing him? But then he showed that other side of him today, and yes, he came on as a sub, but he got caught out. I think he was partially to blame for the second goal. I think personally, he got caught napping, didn't track El Ghazi, and allowed the space. But that's not his natural position, really, though, is it? Right back, mate. But yeah, he didn't really do too much, I don't think, mate. So interesting comment from Jonathan there about Cash-in. Cash-in was quality, I thought. He looked very good. I'd Cash-in on Cash-in.
Yeah.
Brighton, apparently. I think Brighton have submitted a bid for him.
And when you've got teams up there putting bids in, then it kind of blows us out of the water, doesn't it, really? Is Even in the Championship, you look at Middlesbrough now spending $6 million on that Morgan Whittaker from Plymouth. You'd think, we're not going to be able to. We're saying now we paid $3 or $4 million for Salic, really, but I just don't think we can cope with the bigger boys of the league, and if Premier League teams come sniffing, like there's rumours about Ollie Tanner now. Personally, I think it's probably a step up a little bit too early. I'm not saying that he'll never be able to do it.
Yeah,
but I still think he's got to find his feet more and play more consistently at a Championship level first. Don't get me wrong. 2 or 3 years down the line, I wish him all about. I think he's got the potential to be a great player, but I just don't think he's quite there yet. And like I said, I wish him all the best future-wise. I hope he does go on. As long as we can get 10, 12 million for him, then happy days. But I just think a bit too soon for now. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, and if have you seen them or you heard them rumours?
Yeah, so I've seen a few teams linked with him. I think 1 or 2 Premiership teams as well. I've seen linked with Tanner, but I agree with you, mate. I don't think he's there yet, personally. He has got something about him, and again, he's one of the number of players of the last 5-6 weeks or whatever it is that's kicked on again. But I don't think that would be a gamble for him to go trying to move up, I think, and that's no disrespect to him in the slightest, because like you said, a couple of years' time, mate, see where he's at and see if we can make some money on him potentially. But no, I don't think he's there yet to be, mixed with the big boys in the Prem, unless he's wearing a Cardiff shirt yet. But yeah, I don't think so. And I think that we're talking about Whittaker, sorry. Do you know what? if I'm, was it Bury? Is it Borough or Sunderland he's gone to?
Borough.
If I'm a Borough fan, I wouldn't be overly impressed with his attitude and his arrogance before leaving Plymouth, to be honest. The fact that he was named in the squad and didn't. What's that? Yeah, exactly. That's just such a lack of professionalism. And, all right, yes, forcing the move, I get it. But that's just such a lack of disrespect. I don't care who you are and who you play for. If we were signing someone who did that, that would leave a negative part of me straight away, personally, because who's to say they don't do something not
similar? Yeah, exactly.
So, nah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm all for pushing yourself to get a move, don't get me wrong, and doing the old, what's his name? He played for Cardiff, wasn't it? Odin Wingy, wasn't it? When he turned up at the training ground, trying to push for a deal. I'm all for trying to push for a deal, but stuff like that, when you're named in the squad, you're getting paid.
I just hope Middlesbrough have got to go to Plymouth now before the end of the season.
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be quality. Yes, Lewis, just put that comment in. I haven't.
Yeah, it's a good point there, mate.
There's a strong rumor come out tonight about an Ajax midfielder. So I wanted to have a quick chat to you about this one because I haven't looked too much into it, but I know he's a defensive midfielder. I haven't seen any videos, any clips, so I can't judge anything yet. But a defensive midfielder, in my opinion, I don't know if that's an area that we really, really need to strengthen unless there's something going on in the pipe works that we might be losing the likes of CO. We might be selling CO. I don't know. I just, if we're not going to get rid of any of the players that we've got in that area at the moment, do we need another defensive midfielder? Do you think there's more to it? Maybe.
You think there'd have to be, personally, mate. I know he's signing on loan, and by all accounts, I can't imagine us paying too much to his wages. Coming from Ajax, I don't expect us to be paying the full amount. I would expect it to be 50% of it max, personally. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it, that there's more to it. Chambers has been doing a great job there. I think, again, he did a good job today. Rhys, I know he hasn't got legs, and I personally don't think he should have played the full 90 minutes today, but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah, he did look as if he was blowing out of his backside, but again, I thought he was...
Yeah, his job. He's a captain, he's a leader, mate, and I respect that. And I won't be surprised if the gaffer speaks to him and asks him, like, how are you feeling? And Rhys says, controls how many minutes he's playing and says whether he's okay to carry on, etc. I imagine Rhys is that sort of person. And then, yeah, of course, CO. Obviously, I'm CO's number one fan.
He can't go before he scores a goal, at least, can he?
He can't. This can't happen, surely, mate. It can't do this to me. Look, I think it's no secret. I love CO. I love what he's about. Yeah, I know he's not the most gifted of footballer, I don't think, but I love his heart. I love his energy. I love his personality as well. Seeing the interviews he does with Dimmy and his class, they're just great, like so good. So I think it would be a massive hit on the dressing room, I think, as well, if they was to let him go. Yeah. But it makes you wonder, maybe he'll go on loan. But yeah, it's not a position we need covering, I don't think, personally, unless somebody's going.
Yeah, exactly. Just to go on Damien's comment there, the Ajax midfielder is injured, I've been told, and a history of injuries. Yeah. So he's probably already in the Vale of Glamorgan and got his Cardiff City tracksuit on, if that's the case. Because we've got a history of signing players who are not ready to play for 2 months, haven't we?
And yeah, that's right, Damien, mate. I've read that. He's only a young lad. I don't think he's that old. He's early 20s. And he's got a history already of being a bit injury prone. So, I mean, I'm just off the back of that. Do you think he's a Rhys signing or a board signing? If it goes through, obviously.
I don't know. Difficult one, isn't it? Difficult one. It's hard to tell. I suppose. I think obviously Salic was a Rhys signing because obviously he came out and said he's been keeping tabs on him for quite a while. How true that is, I don't know. But so far, so good with him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he's hit the ground running. I think obviously Tuesday night he missed that chance just before he did score. So I think that would have done his confidence the world of good. I think he came on today and again looked dangerous. He had an opportunity, could have scored towards the end as well. And yeah, he looks dangerous. I'm looking forward to seeing how much he can progress, not only himself but us as a team. Because I was sat there first half and we're lumping the ball up from goal kicks, and I'm just thinking, unless you've got Matty on the field, who I know we come on later on, we're lumping the ball up to Callum Robinson, Chris Willock. None of them are really, winning the ball in the air for you. And that's no disrespect to them guys. That they're not them types of players, are they?
No.
But I just think you're allowing them to win that first ball, and potentially get the ball back. But with Salic up there again today, first couple of kicks from Jack Alnwick, he's getting little flicks. And I think that's what we've missed, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was literally one of the first touches he had, and it was a cheer from the fans, like literally the first hit, and from the keeper, and he got a flick all straight away, and it was just great to see, like, because how good he is, and he looks like he is good in the air as well. I know we're sidestepping slightly, mate, but you brought his name up, so it's your fault. Matey, thoughts on him being in the squad and then also coming on?
Again, I can't too much because obviously it's just you hear Chinese whispers that he's deleted all his Cardiff City posts, this, that, and the other. Something happened last week, and there was rumours that he was on his way out. And that's all we get to hear. We don't know what's really gone on behind closed doors. But if that is the case, I don't know if he's gone and spoke to Omar and said, "Look, I want to go," type of thing. But if that's the case, for me, if a player comes and says that, then same as this, Kyle Walker, and using that as an example with Man City, Kyle Walker went to Pep and told him that Pep didn't pick him. Yeah. And I think that's the attitude you need to have, really. I know we perhaps haven't got that strength and depth there, and there's injuries, perhaps. But, if there's a player in that squad who doesn't want to be there, then they're gone. But
100%.
And sorry, but jump in. And that's not me slating Matey whatsoever. I think he's had a lot of criticism, a lot of flack thrown his way over the last couple of weeks. I haven't got nothing bad to say about him. I just don't think his performances are probably at the level needed to be in the Championship. I hope he goes on, finds a club perhaps at League 2 or League 1. And, he's 29 years old. So he's got another 3, 4, 5 years left in him. And I think at League 1, he'll do a great job for a team down here. But at the moment, I just don't think his capabilities and his abilities then are suited for us playing in the Championship.
Maybe a move back to Reading, essentially.
Well, we played Reading in pre-season, and I was speaking to some of the Reading supporters as we was walking back to the car, and they said, because I said during pre-season, I'd be surprised if he's here after the transfer window, and obviously he still is. But they would have snapped him straight back up. So
yeah, he is hardworking. He is really hardworking, and he did all right when he came on. In fairness, I must admit, I was somewhat surprised to see him in the squad, and then even more surprised to see him come on. But this is why I sit here on a Saturday night or a Wednesday night and not.
What was he doing for that corner when Rose took that short corner just for Matty to hold it up in the corner, and he just like rolled it back to Rolls, and it went into touch.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly with him, I think, don't you? And but then about 5-10 minutes earlier, he put a hell of a tackle in our own half, and literally, I thought he was going to kill the guy. In fairness, but it was a hell of a tackle, and want to throw him from it as well. So,
whatever happens, I wish him all the very best. I do anyway. So,
100%, buddy.
Before we start wrapping up, then, buddy, because I know, obviously, I know you said you couldn't stay for the full hour, so we'll start wrapping up very shortly.
Yeah, no problem.
I wanted to have a quick chat to you about your opinions on Jack Anick. Now, the last couple of times, it's been a couple of games, shall we say. He's gone down at various points during the game. I'm not sure if he's carrying an injury, but again, he went down today, and I'm thinking, oh, please stay on the field. Stay on the field.
Yeah.
Is it time to give him a rest, do you think? Obviously, I know Leeds away next week. They haven't got a game now midweek. If I was Omar Riza now this week, I'd say to Jack Anick, stay in the house. I don't want you to do anything. Just recovery. Yeah. I want you fit for next Saturday. Treatment, get in and see the physio, have all your rub downs and things. It'd be interesting to see what the guys in the chat have to say as well. But yeah, leave Ethan Ovarth play against Stoke next week Saturday, innit? In the FA Cup.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And do you know what? I don't know whether I'm just overthinking it or whatever, but we've seen his technique when he kicks, when he's like doing a clearance. A lot of the times, his leg is going down to the floor. His standing leg is going down to the floor when he's kicking it, and his stress.
Yeah, I forgot. But have we got a former grassroots goalkeeper?
Don't remember what someone said. I've never kicked a ball in my life. Nah, I ain't getting triggered. But no, and it's obviously a technique, and I don't know how long he's been doing it for, but whether he does that to protect something when he's kicking a ball, or whether it's just a technique, whether I'm just thinking it's just thing like, but yeah. Cheers for that.
What's that? That's a great
Don't
comment.
We all, Graham, mate.
Don't we all?
Got to pay for it these days.
Yeah, there's a couple of people in the comments said about he's struggling with a groin injury and knee problems, and like I said, if we can get him through the week now, rest, recovery, play the Leeds game, and then obviously he'll have a rest then, I would imagine, for the FA Cup away at Stoke. So that's an extra week again. Then he can have a bit of time off and recovery. But I think, again, I don't think he had a great deal to do today, to be fair.
No, I don't think so.
But I think he's, well, without question, he's made that number one shirt his own, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think so, mate. I don't think there was much that he could do about the goal personally. That he was a big boy, that number 9 from he's the new signing, wasn't he? Well, he's a number 9, but you know what I mean.
There was that blonde-headed fella with a top knot, was there?
Yeah, looks a bit like me.
Number 15. He looked a good player as well, in fairness.
He did, mate. He looked very very influential, in fairness. Right from the start, you could see that, like, this lad, you got to keep him quiet and keep him out of the game. And I think Dimmy did a great job on him. I know Darlan's come in for a bit, not stick, but a bit of advice, should we say, that he needs to do some bulking up over the summer. Potentially that might be right. But I think between the two of them, they've done a job on him, and what is quite a physical centre forward, and that lad, the Swansea loanee, who looked quite decent as well, and they kept him quiet, mate, because he could play. You see
the partnership they are building there now, Gutas and Darland, is just getting stronger and stronger for me. I think going back a couple of months, Gutas was perhaps struggling with a bit of form money, and he went through a bit of a rough patch. but I think we're starting to see the best of him returning now as well.
100%, and you could argue he could have been one of those names that's would have been out the door. But now, you'd argue he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. And that's credit to how hard he's worked. He's knuckled down, and he looks so good in defence at the moment. He looks so reliable, and it looks like he's gained an extra couple of yards of pace as well, I'd argue. He looks sharp, and we wouldn't be in this position where we are right now if it weren't for particularly that three, Alwick, Darland, and Demi. For me, I know obviously there's others around him, but that core three between them, that triangle, those three, it's so vital of how well we've done so far, mate, recently. Top Knot gave us
Happy days then. Yeah, Top Knot gave us problems. You're right, he did.
I'm going to go with those, mate. That's my aim now for next season. I'm going to grow my head out to get a Top Knot.
Yeah, I got more chance of getting a bottom knot in my beard.
I thought you were about your ass, eh?
No. That's early enough, right now.
This is my enough.
It's all fun and games. So, obviously, no game now this week. I think it'll be obviously is another tough game next week, but I think the first couple of days of the week now will all be rest and recovery, and then towards the end of the week start ramping up for Leeds away.
Yeah, 100%. I know a few people have already mentioned in the comments, and yourself touched upon it earlier, we take a point all day long there. Just reading Damon's comment down. I take a point all day long, mate. You have got to enjoy. I think the players need to enjoy tonight. I hope they do. I hope they get to de-stress and relax a bit tonight and appreciate what they've done. Like
I said, massive result that was for us today. It's pulled us. I think it's 4 points. 4 points above Derby. I think Derby
4 points ahead of them now, mate. And massive for Portsmouth, taking a pound in today, goal difference wise.
They've still got a game in hand on us, Portsmouth. I think.
Yeah, but I don't. That's the last thing anyone wanted to come down to when it could go against us is goal difference. But as harsh as it sounds, you want to see these teams getting battered around us. That the more you see these teams getting hammered around us, mate, it only helps our goal difference in comparison to theirs. So you take what we can get, my friend.
Yeah, 100%. There was a comment. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was a Joshua or Jordan mentioned earlier about potential playoff push. I'm going to see if I can bring the championship table up now. Bear with me.
Well, you can try and bring it on screen?
No, I'm not going to bring it on screen. I'm not that bloody advanced in technology.
I was going to say. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up now as well. I got two supporters, Amelia and Joshua, watching the pod next to me. Josh had fallen asleep when the Undertaker in WWE when he was like sparkled, and then all of a sudden he just rise up from the. Josh had just done that on the bed, like. So Amelia is Hey, bud. Joshy boy.
That's made us all chuck up, but then that's your new nickname, though. But I'm going to start calling you the Taker. Oh, bloody hell! Where was I? Amelia, pass me that league thing that you just had. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, but so Cardiff at the moment we are
18th on 31 points.
Yeah, and
Middlesbrough are on 44 points. So with 13 points
good maths there, Good maths, buddy.
And obviously it's so close, isn't it? You look from all the way up to 11th, Norwich City in 11th on 39 points, down to Portsmouth in 21st on 29 points. Is so tight. But you look from obviously Swan, we're only 3 points behind the Jacks now, which is mental, really, when you think about it.
Well,
we're on 31 points.
9 points behind them, weren't we? Was we 9 points behind them before the derby? Or close enough to that?
So as we get it, we're going to start climbing. It's just important now that we keep building on the momentum. Again, it's going to be difficult next week. I think it's almost like a free hit for me next week. You're going up there, perhaps, and on art, probably thinking we'll be lucky to get anything from the game, if I'm completely honest. So for me, I treat it as a free hit. Just go up there and have a go.
Yeah.
And if we can come away with a point, even better, scrape a 1-0 win, then happy days. That'll be a massive result for us. But, you look at the next games then we've got, I think it's Portsmouth league games then rather than Stoke away. Portsmouth and Bristol City. They're 2 very winnable games. And games that we got to be targeting 3 points in.
Yeah, Bristol City are doing okay. They're just outside the playoffs at the moment, but as obviously we've rattled out, we ain't like the points difference from just outside the playoffs to where we all are down here is not a million miles away either. So
again, it's another derby, and I think form goes out to the window in derby games, and I think is going back to the Jacks game last week. It's been nice now knowing that the players are there and they know what derbies mean. Obviously, it's not going to be as big as the South Wales derby, but the players turned up against the Jacks last week, and we just need the same now. Every home game, really. I'd love to create that atmosphere that was created when we played the Jacks last week. It was difficult, and it's not going to happen. Obviously, there was 7,000 people less there today, apparently, but it is what it is. I suppose at the end of the day, we just got to take it one game at a time. Like I said, let's go to Leeds next week, give it our all. As long as we come from there injury-free, it's a free hit for me.
That's a good point here from Jeff. Was he only 1 point we had when he took over?
Yeah, 1 point in the first 6, wasn't it?
Jesus Christ. That's insane.
Yeah, 100%, bet. 100%. Right. Last plug for the members and things then, guys. So as you've seen going across the bottom of the screen throughout, you can become a member of Cardiff City World via the link in the YouTube post, or you can scan the QR code just above Rob's head there. Other way, but
that's it.
Oh, so you're not pointing in, not on my screen. It's different.
Oh, on my screen it is. Was it on your screen?
Yeah.
It's on there on mine.
That'll take you through to the Ace Podcast Nation Patreon app, and you can join in that way as well. Any help you can, I think, is the price of less than a cup of coffee a month, and it really helps us out. But thanks everyone for tuning in this evening. Another massive 3 points for us at home. I think it's the first time we've won back-to-back home games since October, which is, again, mad. But let's just hope now we can keep the momentum going, keep the train on the tracks, mate, and start climbing that table a bit more.
Up a flower.
Thanks for joining. You had to get that in, didn't you?
Of course. Much love.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
I'm not going to press the end live now, but we can stay here all night.